All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin. This is unit test 7, study guide, unit 7. All right, here we go. So the first problem, we're going to graph a system based on this word problem. The ABC Electric Company charges $50 per hour plus a $60 service fee. The XYZ Electric Company charges $10 per hour plus a $140 service fee. Let Y equal the total cost and X equal the number of hours. All right, so A, write an equation for the ABC Electric Company. All right, ABC Electric Company is right here. So remember, equations need an equal sign, so Y equals. It says $50 per hour, so that's 50x plus 60. All right, there's our first equation based on the ABC Electric Company. Now, the XYZ Electric Company, $10 per hour, that's pretty cheap, but it's a $100 service fee. All right, so let's see, that would be Y equals 10x plus 140. All right, we're going to graph these two systems, and I'm going to use the calculator to help. So, to our calculator, Y equals. All right, let's clear out anything that might be there. All right, so in Y1, we're going to put one equation at a time. So we're going to do the 50x plus 60. And then I'm going to go to the table, and I'm going to look at my table. And I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to plot the dots that will easily fit on my graph. All right, so there's our table. Hopefully you have it on your calculator. All right, here we go. So we're going to plot 0, 60. Then the next one that fits nice is 2, 160. Right there. If you want, you could put in, I know 1 says 110. Okay, so you could put a dot right there if you wanted to. All right, then the next one that, well, I guess it doesn't fit perfect, would be 3 and 210. 3, 210, that dot would be right there. All right, draw my line. Okay, now the next one, same thing. I'm going to go to my Y equals. I'm going to put the other equation in, 10x plus 140. I'm going to go to the table, and I'm going to plot the dots that fit real nice. All right, here we go. So we've got 0, 140. Then we've got 2, 160. Then we've got 4, 180. Then we've got 6, 200. Okay, there's one more that fits pretty decent, and that would be 8, 220. Put as many dots as you can on your graph, please. Okay, and what are we interested in? We are interested in where they cross each other. Okay, that indicates that that's where they are the same amount. So that answers letter D. When will the two be the same amount, and what is that amount? Well, they will be the same at 2 hours, and the amount is $160. E, when will the ABC Electric Company be the better deal? All right, well, the ABC Electric Company is the orange, and it's a better deal if it's below the blue line because it's cheaper. So where's the orange line below the blue line? Okay, well, base that answer on what you did in D. So the answer to that, when is the ABC Electric Company the better deal? Okay, that would be right here where it is less than 2 hours. Okay, when will the XYZ company be the better deal? So that's when the blue line will be below the orange line, and that'll be when it's more than 2 hours. So if you want to save some money and the job is going to take less than 2 hours, well then use the ABC Electric Company. If it's going to be more than 2 hours, then you want to use the XYZ. All right, moving on. Okay, I'm going to graph these two systems. Remember, we first plot our y-intercept, and then we use our slope, and we want to see where they cross each other. So I'm going to just graph these. I'm going to do different colors for each line. I'm just going to graph these, okay, without talking. So you're just going to see the pen going across the screen. All right, here we go. So the slope is 6 and the slope is 1 over 2 and the y-intercept is 6. Okay, on this one the y-intercept is -9 and the slope is 3. And we want to know where they cross each other. Okay, if they do not cross each other at a nice spot, then you messed up. All right, and we need to write down where they cross each other. Okay, and that is an ordered pair. That is the solution to the system. So the x value is 6, and the y value is 9. So the solution to that system is 6, 9. Okay, now the next one. Y-intercept of -7, slope of 2. At any point, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video. Okay, the next one, the y-intercept is 8 and the slope is -1/2. And again, where do they cross each other? That is the solution. So they cross each other at 6, 5. All right, moving on. Okay, I'm going to solve these systems and I'm going to do them two ways. I'm going to solve them using the elimination method and then I'm going to solve them using the matrices on the calculator. So for each problem, you're going to see two different ways. All right, so first I'm going to solve it with the elimination method. And when you take this on the test, okay, you have to show some work. No work, no credit. All right, here we go. So looking at number 3, I see I've got a negative 2x and I've got an x. So I want to eliminate the x. So I want this top x, I need to change it to a 2x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by 2. So I'm going to rewrite 2x, 2 times 3y would be 6y, and then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Okay. Now, they're going to eliminate the x's. Then it's 7y equals, and negative 34 plus 8, or negative 34 plus negative 8 is negative 42. Divide by 7 and we get y equals negative 6. All right. Then I need to plug that y value into one of the equations, and I'm going to plug it into the top equation. Okay, so I'm going to replace the y in the top equation with negative 6. So x plus 3 times negative 6 equals negative 4. Okay, I'm going to solve for x. X plus negative 18 equals negative 4. I'm going to add 18 to both sides, so x equals negative, or 18 and negative 4 makes 14. So the solution to this is negative 6. Oh, take that back. 14, negative 6. That is our solution. Okay. Now I'm going to set up my matrices and do it on the calculator. Okay. You don't have to do it both ways on the test. You do it the way you prefer. Okay. Most people will prefer the matrix. But again, you must show the work. So if you want credit for the problem on the test, you're going to have to show the matrix. All right. So here's the matrix. Okay, that's it for your work. That's what you got to show. Now we're going to type it into the calculator. So let's run through that. So go to your matrix. Remember, go to Edit. Number 1, and this is a 2 by 2. And now I'm going to type the numbers in. Okay, now I need to go back to the matrix, go back to Edit, pick number 2 this time, and that's a 2 by 1 matrix. And I'm going to put the negative 4 and the negative 48. Again, at any time I'm going too fast, just rewind and listen to it again or pause it. Okay, once you have it into your matrix, you're going to need to quit, second quit. Now remember, you only have to do this once on your test, and then you can use the second enter to redo it. So, but let's go through it. So let's get it so we get the answer. So second matrix. Okay, we just go ahead and pick number 1. We see that it shows up on the screen. We hit our inverse button, which is the x to the negative 1 button. Then we go back to our matrix, and we pick number 2. All right, and it is set up, so we just have to hit enter, and voila. And that is a totally different answer than what I just did. So that means I messed up on my matrix. Let me go back to my matrix and double check what I did wrong. All right, so let's see. So it's 1, 3, negative 2, 1. All right, nothing wrong there. Go back to my matrix and check B. And, oh, I put negative 48. Silly me. So that's negative 34. Negative 34. Again, be careful when typing. See how easy it is to mess up? All right. So sorry about that. So now, since I already typed that once, remember if I just do second enter, it will retype that for me. And there we go. That's much better. 14, negative 6. All right. Hopefully I won't mess up any more today, but I don't make any promises. Let's go ahead and do number 4. Okay, so number 4, I'm going to first do it by hand again. And I notice I've got a negative 8, and this is just a y. So I want this y to become an 8. So I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by 8. Okay? So when I multiply that by 8, I get 16x plus 8y equals, and then 8 times negative 19 is negative 152. Okay, I'm going to rewrite the top equation above it. And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate. So the y's are gone this time. Okay, so now 3x and 16x makes 19x equals negative 152. Divide by 19 and we find out x is negative 8. All right, I'm going to plug that x into the bottom equation into that x. So I've got 2 times negative 8 plus y equals negative 19. So negative 16 plus y equals negative 19. Add 16 to both sides, and y equals negative 3. So my solution, negative 8, negative 3. Okay, I'm going to set up the matrix, and I'm going to type that into my calculator. All right. Remember, quit. And second enter. Voila. Negative 8, negative 3. Okay, moving on. Number 5. So again, I'm going to set this up. I see I've got a 4x and a negative 2x. So what I want to do is I want to make this negative 2x into a negative 4x. So I'm going to multiply by 2. So that equation becomes negative 4x plus 14y equals negative 14. All right, what happens? Well, the x's eliminate, the y's eliminate, and the constant, the 14's cancel out. So I've got 0 equals 0. What does that mean? Okay, well, that means it's infinite solutions. These two lines are the same line. Okay, they are the same line. So that means one line is on top of the other line. Okay, if you graphed it, you would only see one line. All right, what does it look like if we would do this with a matrix? Okay, so this one's a little bit weird. So we've got 2, 7, 4, negative 14. All right, whoops, let's see, negative 7, 14. All right, sorry about that. I had to pause a little bit. All right, I'm going to put this into the calculator and let's see what happens. Okay, now, when you run into a situation like this where it's infinite solutions, you are going to get an error message because the calculator does not realize that it can figure that it can find an answer because it doesn't know that it's infinite. So it's just going to say singular matrix. And it says go to your error. Okay, well, you can go to it, but there is no error there. All right, so what you have to do in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, is you are going to have to go back and do that one by hand just to see if it is infinite solutions. All right, let's keep going. Number 6. Okay, number 6, there is a typo. There needs to be an X behind that 5. Okay, there needs to be an X behind that 5. So I want to get rid of X. I'm going to multiply by 5 on the top equation. All right, so that becomes 5x plus 5y equals 35. The x's eliminate. I've got 8y equals positive 32. Divide by 8, and y is 4. Okay, I'm going to plug that back into the top equation. So I've got x plus 4 equals 7. Well, that's pretty easy. Subtract 4, x equals 3. So my solution is 3, 4. Okay, the matrix 1, 1, negative 5, 3. Seven, negative 3. Okay, so just like the others, let's put that in. Voila. Okay, moving on. Number 7, okay, by hand first. I'm going to multiply the top equation. Okay, I have a 4x, I've got a 2x. I want this to become a negative 4x, so I'm going to multiply the top by a negative 2. So, negative 4x, negative 10y equals negative 24. Okay, what happens here? The x's eliminate, the y's eliminate, and then this becomes a negative 6. Okay, so I've got 0 equals negative 6. Okay? No. No, that can't be possible. 0 does not equal negative 6. This indicates, ladies and gentlemen, a no solution. Okay, that means these two lines are parallel to each other. There's no solution. Okay, what does it look like when we do the matrix? All right, let's see what happens. You'll notice I got the same error message as I got on number 5. This is why when you run into this scenario, you're going to have to go back and do it by hand, because you don't know from the calculator whether it's a no solution or if it's an infinite solution. So you're going to have to go back and do those by hand. Okay, so you know it's one or the other. You have to figure it out. Okay, number 8, moving on. So number 8, I see I've got a negative 2y here and a y here. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2. All right, so the bottom becomes 6x, negative 6x, plus 2y equals negative 6. All right, the top equation stayed the same. All right, elimination. So negative 2x equals negative 12. So x equals positive 6. All right, I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to take this 6 and I'm going to go to the top one. So 4 times 6 minus 2y equals negative 6. 24 minus 2y equals negative 6. Subtract 24. Divide by negative 2, and we get 15. All right. So the solution is 6, 15. Okay, set up the matrix. I'm going to set the matrix up, but I am not going to do it on the calculator. Okay, so 4, negative 2, negative 3, 1. All right, go ahead and put that into the calculator if you need to, and you'll get the same answer, 615. All right, moving on. Number 9 and 10. All right, so number 9 and 10, we've got bigger matrix now. We've got 3 variables. Okay, so you have to use the calculator here. So we're going to go right to the matrix. Remember, if you do not show this on your test, even if you get an answer, you're getting no points. All right, so the top row. Watch your signs. All right, now when we go to our matrix on the calculator, we're going to need to change our dimensions. So 3 by 3. Okay, and then put in all the numbers. And again, you have to change your dimensions for matrix B. All right, quit. Second enter. If you've been doing it, you don't have to redo all that. And voila, there's our answers. Okay, no decimals. No decimals. All right, so 2, -7, and 5. All right, now number 10, you got to be really, really careful with. Okay, the top row, 2, -2, -3. Now the middle row, there is a letter missing. The letter Y is missing. So because the letter Y is missing, the 0 needs to go where the letter Y is. All right, the 3 here and the 1 there. In the third row, the letter Z is missing. So since Z is missing, the 0 has to go right there. All right, 1, 1. Again, I made all of these problems so that there would not be decimal answers. If you're getting a decimal answer, then you messed up somewhere. Go back and fix it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and type this one in quick. And the answer, 3, -3, 1. All right, moving on. Going to the word problems. Okay, at a pizza restaurant, it costs $3 to make a small pizza that sells for $8, and it costs $7 to make a large pizza that sells for $14. In 1 week, the restaurant spent a total of $1,220 making pizzas and sold all of them for $2,670. How many small and large pizzas were sold? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the equations. I'm going to set up the matrix, okay, and then I'm just going to put the answer up. I'm not going to go back to the calculator every single time and type it in. Okay, we did that on the last page. So pause the video and practice it. All right, so here we go. So we've got $3 to make a small, and $7 to make a large. Okay, make. That's the first equation. So 3S, $3 to make a small, plus 7L, $7 to make a large, equals, okay, the restaurant had to spend this to make the pizzas, $1,220. Okay, and then they sell, whoops, I wanted to switch colors there. They sell for $8, the small. They sell the large ones for $14, and they sold them for a total of $2,670. So we've got 8S plus 14L equals 2670. Okay, so the matrix is Okay, so you're going to have to change your dimensions to a 2 by 2 and 2 by 1. Type that into your calculator, and you find out they sold 115 small and they sold 125 large. Again, pause it if you need to and use your calculator and check it out. Okay, moving on. Number 12. At a different pizza restaurant, it costs $4.50 to make a small that sells for $9, $6.50 to make a medium that sells for $12, and $8.50 to make a large that sells for $16. In 1 week, the restaurant spent $2,380 making pizzas and sold them for $4,510. So, and it says they also sold 10 more medium pizzas than small pizzas. How many small, medium, and large pizzas were sold? All right, well, let's start off with how much it cost them to make it. So the small cost $4.50 to make it. The medium cost $6.50, and the large cost $8.50. So $4.50S plus $6.50M plus $8.50L equals $2,380. Okay, they sell the smalls for $9. They sell the mediums for $12. They sell the large for $16. And a total of $4,510. Now, we need 3 equations. If you have 3 variables, you have to have 3 equations. You cannot do this without it. So, the last sentence, or second last sentence, says, they also sold 10 more mediums than small pizzas. Okay, so off to the side, I'm going to do a little bit of like scratch work. So the medium, they sold 10 more medium pizzas than small pizzas. So the medium is going to be the number of small pizzas plus 10 more. That's what it's saying. They sold 10 more medium pizzas than small pizzas. Okay, so the medium equals whatever the small is plus 10. So I need to rewrite that because I need the S to be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract S from both sides, and I'm going to rewrite that. And I'm going to write negative S plus M equals 10. So that's my third equation. So the negative S is going to go here. Negative S plus the medium. There is nothing mentioned about the large, so there is no large there, equals 10. All right, so my matrix on this one, all right, didn't leave myself much room. The top row is 450, 650, 850. The medium row is 9, 12, 16. And the last row, be careful, the last row is negative 1, 1, 0, because they didn't say anything about the large there. All right, small, medium, large. And then the last matrix is 2,380, 4,510, and 10. All right, I'm not going to type that into the calculator. You can go ahead and do that. So this is what we end up with. We should end up with 110 small, 120 medium, and 130 large. And yes, I planned it that way when I made this problem up. 110, 120, 130. All right. Again, pause it if you need to. I'm moving on. Number 13. To raise money for the graduation all-night party, the school is going to sell short sleeve t-shirts and long sleeve t-shirts. The school can buy the short sleeve t-shirts for $4 and will sell them for $8. The long sleeve t-shirts will cost the school $7 and they will sell them for $10. The school will spend $410 on the t-shirts and they will sell them for $700. How many of each? Okay, so it's just like the pizza problem. So we've got long sleeve and short sleeve. So, okay, the school had to buy the short sleeve for 4, so 4S, plus they had the long sleeve. The long sleeve, they had to buy them for $7, and they spent $410 buying them. Okay, then they sold the short sleeve for 8. They sold the long sleeve for 10, and then they sold altogether 700. All right, so the matrix. And type that in, and you end up with 50 small or short sleeve and 30 long sleeve. Okay, one more. Now this problem, number 14, is the one problem that you are going to get a decimal answer because we are dealing with the price of gas. So 10 gallons of regular, 15 gallons of premium is $91.75. Premium costs 30 cents more than regular. What is the cost for the premium and the regular? All right, so here we go. So 10 gallons, 15 gallons, $91.75. So I'm going to use, all right, so 10 or let's use R for regular. 10R plus 15P equals $91.75. Okay, now I'm going to have to do a little work with this over here. Premium costs 30 cents more than regular. So premium equals regular plus 30 cents. Premium costs 30 cents more than regular. And again, I cannot have the premium and the regular on opposite sides. So I'm going to move the R. I'm going to subtract R from both sides. So I've got negative R plus P equals 0.30. So that's what I'm going to put over here. Negative R plus P equals 0.30. All right, so my matrix is negative 1, 1. All right, type that in, and again, this is one that you are going to get a decimal answer. The premium ends up being $3.79, and the regular ends up being $3.49. All right, moving on. There's a lot to do on this one. All right, graph these inequalities. Here we go. So x is less than 7. So remember that is a vertical line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. X is 7. Okay, it is less than, so it is a dashed line. If you forgot the key, look at the worksheet with this on it. Okay, now when I shade it, I'm going to shade less than that, so I'm going to be shading to the left, but I'm not going to shade it yet. Okay, graph the other one. The y-intercept is 5. The slope is down 1 over 2. Okay, I am not interested in where they cross each other because I'm interested in where we are shading. All right, since this one's got an equal to on it, it's going to be a solid line. Now remember, these are worth a lot of points on the test. And this says I will shade above, so let me do this. I'm going to shade below the purple. I'm sorry, I'm going to shade to the left of the purple and above the pink. So to the left of the purple and above the pink. There we go. All right, moving on. Next one. Okay, y is greater than or equal to negative 5. Okay, that is a horizontal at negative 5. It is a dashed. No, it is a solid line. Sorry, solid line. It's got the equal to on it. Okay, when I shade that, I'll be shading above. Next one. Y-intercept negative 4. Slope 3. That one is a dashed. When I shade it, I will shade below that line. I need one more. Y-intercept is 6. Slope is negative 2. And it is solid. Okay, so I'm going to shade it now. So I'm going to shade above the green, below the blue, below the orange. Okay, that would be the triangle this time. That would be the triangle. All right, underneath each one. Okay, so underneath this graph, give two ordered pairs that are solutions to the system. Okay, remember anything in the shaded region. Anything in shaded region. Okay, now you don't write that, you pick out one. Okay, so like this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 5, 5 is a solution. Okay, there are lots of them. Okay, here's another one. That would be 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 7. Same thing over here. Not quite as many to pick. Okay, like this spot right there. That looks good. That would be 2, negative 1. This spot right here looks good. That would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, negative 4. Okay, as long as it's in the shaded region, it is correct. Okay, moving on. Remember, this problem on the test is going to be worth about 15 points. A potter specializes in making two types of vases, or vases. So one vase uses 9 pounds of clay and the other vase uses 10 pounds of clay. Very, very heavy. The potter wants to make at least 3 types of each vase or vase and has 90 pounds of clay to work with. All right, well, first of all, this right here wants to make at least 3 types of each. And X is representing one and Y is representing the other. Remember, at least 3 means 3 or more. So when we write the inequality for this, okay, so like the plate, and I'm sorry, not the plate, okay, the one type of vase, X is going to be greater than or equal to 3. And then the other type, it's also going to be Y is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, I should have done that one in a different color. So I'm going to graph these. These are 2 boundary lines. So I'm going to do the X, that's vertical at 3. Solid. Okay, that's the first one. Then the Y is greater than or equal to 3. That's horizontal, so 1, 2, 3. And it's solid. Now, 9 pounds for one and 10 pounds for the other, and 90 pounds to work with. So that would be 9x plus 10y is less than or equal to 90. Since there is only 90 pounds to work with, it has to be 90 or less. Okay, we have to solve for y. So got to get y by itself. So subtract 9x. Divide by 10. All right, so I'm going to graph it. So my y-intercept is 9. And my slope is down 9 over 10. Wow. Solid line. All right, shading. I'm going to shade above the pink to the right of the purple because X is bigger, and then below the green. So this area right here is the solution set. Okay, so it says give 3 solutions. Well, I'm just going to pick, whoops, let me get back to my pen. I'm going to pick this 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to use those 3. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. So 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. Okay, what does that mean? That means you can make 4 of the 9 pound and 4 of the 10 pound. Or you can make 5 of the 9 pound and 4 of the 10 pound and so on. Okay? So that's what that's telling us. That problem, again, is worth like 15 points on the test. So be careful. All right, last page. A repeat of what we did on the last test. You need to know your surface area and volume and read very carefully. All right, this one says surface area, and I have the formula there for you. All right, so here we go. So the perimeter of this cylinder would be 2 times the radius times pi. So that would be 2 times 6 times pi, which is 12 pi. The height is 16, and the base area of the cylinder is pi r squared. Okay, well, pi r squared, that would be 6 squared, that would be 36 pi. Okay, so plug this all into the formula. Okay, kind of running out of room here. We've got, so okay, I'm going to erase something. I'm going to erase this to make room. So again, that was 12 pi. Okay, I'm going to plug the numbers in. So here we go. Surface area equals 12 pi times 6 plus 2 times 36 pi. Plugging it into the formula up above. Okay, if you simplify that, you get 192 pi plus 72 pi, and I do not want you to touch pi, I want you to leave it alone. So the final answer is 264 pi centimeters squared. Okay, the next one. All right, so the perimeter of this is 40. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. The height is 10. And the base area is 10 times 10, which is 100. So plugging this into the formula, the surface area is 40 times 10 plus 2 times 100. Okay, and that's going to give us 600 inches squared. Okay, the next one. So the perimeter is 7 plus 8 plus 6. That's 21. Again, 7 plus 8 plus 6. The height is 12. The base area, it's a triangle. So it's base times height divided by 2, which is 21. All right, so I'm going to plug this in. So the surface area is 21 times 12 plus 2 times 21. Okay, and then that ends up being 294 meters squared. Rewind and watch it if you need to. Okay, volume. Volume's right here, base area times height. So again, the base area here is pi r squared. Well, pi r squared, that's 36 pi. The height is 16. So the volume is 36 pi times 16. Leave the pi alone. So 576 pi centimeters cubed. Okay, number 22. Again, it's a triangle, so the base area is base times height divided by 2. So the base area is 21. The height is 12. So the volume is 21 times 12, which equals 252 cubic meters. Please go back and re-watch anything you need to. This is a lengthy test. There's a lot of stuff to do. Good luck.